What's happening? I'm Iron Man from the music group theLottory, Showtime Records. You know who I am and you know what I does. I represent the Los Angeles Lakers for life, hence the banner to my side. Have you ever been upset or mildly annoyed, especially with the inability to change or achieve something? If you have, my friend, you have been frustrated. Probably almost as much as I am right now. If you looked up the word frustration in the dictionary, you'd probably see a lot of pictures of people, but two people in particular that you might have heard of. One guy's name is AD Anthony Davis. This guy in New Orleans. He is extremely frustrated right now. I mean, he had a series of interviews where he basically said, I have to play perfect every single night for us to even have a slight chance to win. He has now injured his index finger. I don't remember which hand it was, but he is on the shelf for about 2 weeks. He is ultra frustrated right now. Now, right next to him, I'm sure, because they're both in the Western Conference, you will see a picture of this young fellow. I don't know if you've heard of him or not. His name is Luka Doncic. This guy is frustrated, and I wasn't sure. This is odd because a couple of subscribers, they said, hey, do you think he's gonna get frustrated if they don't find him some help sometime soon? And I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know. I think he understands. I'm sure, management is telling him, they're trying to do everything they can, and he looked really frustrated. By the way, I'm talking about a scrimmage they had with the Indiana Pacers. Oh, Victor Oladipo. Indiana Pacers, my home guy, my homeboy. More money, more money, more money, more. He is overseas. He is a lifelong diehard Pacers fan. So it's always fun to talk about his squad whenever I have the chance. I hope you're safe, feeling good over there overseas, man. Hope you come back real soon. But during this scrimmage, which Luka Doncic only played about half because he was ejected from the game because of his boiling levels of frustration that he let ooze out. It was a little bit, it was not irresponsible, but immature, what he did. I guess they do play a lot of football, soccer overseas, and maybe he's got some soccer skills too. He seems like a really talented guy. Man. Gave the ball a little punt, and that's just, hey man, it's the second tech, and they just, get him on out of here. Get him on out of here. But this guy is frustrated, and I can understand, because he's probably feeling a lot like Anthony Davis right now. I think he's starting to realize that, man, I have to really come out and put on this Luka magic act every game for us to even have a chance to win. I mean, if he's not super solid and fantastic, every game, man, it is rough. That is a lot. That is a huge weight to carry on your shoulders, especially as a young 18-year-old. That is a lot on his plate, and I'm sure it's starting to boil over just a little bit right now. Because no one else on the squad can do anything, at least not consistently enough to play at a high level. They can't score enough buckets. They just can't do it. They were down by like 1 point in the first quarter, but even though he was playing then, I think he's starting to get used to, the more athletic. There's a lot more athletic people in the NBA than playing overseas. So some of the moves, he got blocked by Miles Turner. I don't even think he thought he could get there, but he was going to throw it down. I was like, he swatted that away, and I was like, oh, I know he was just frustrated. And not only that, there have just been he really needs to watch James Harden. I mean, this guy, James Harden, gets on my nerves. I mean, he is great at fooling, baiting the refs into making these terrible calls. I mean, he's got to learn how to draw fouls, in the NBA as opposed to playing overseas, because I don't think he's gotten it just yet. He doesn't get a lot of respect. And I mean, that's part of it, especially him being a rookie. And man, I know that's extra frustrating, especially you have to stay down instead of getting back on defense. You're like, yo, where's the call? Where's the call? Where's the call? What is going on? I know it's super frustrating. Then if you pass the ball to someone else, not only that, now he's running point, which is an extremely frustrating position to play. Where even if you're playing just average other point guards, are usually much smaller and much faster than you are. So it wears you down. It definitely wears you down. That's why I'm saying we need to get another point guard in here to share the responsibilities with him, to help him out, to lighten his load, because it just wears you down running these guys after the screen up and down on the breaks. I mean, he's 6'8", like 230 or something like that. Man, listen, hey man, that's a load. You're going against guys that are 6'2", 6'3", and they weigh like 205 or something. It wears you down. It definitely wears you down. But then when he does have the ball in his hands, he's the only real guy who can create offensively, by himself. So, and then he's like the best passer on the team. So it's like, oh, if I pass it to someone who can't score as well as I can, or should I score all the time and then they don't get involved? And it's very frustrating. That's why I was saying, get somebody else there. Get Frank Ntilikina in here to share the responsibilities with him so he can focus more on being the scoring guy. I mean, because he's got tremendous scoring abilities. That would really help him out and ease some of his frustration. And then if we get rid of some of these guys on the team, hey man, Dirk, hey look, man, he's scoring on buckets. All right, man, he's made a lot of money for him. Like I said, I'm not mad at him. Hey man, you're on your farewell tour. Just try to do a little bit better. Just try to do a little bit better. That would be great. But man, let me see. Dorian Finney-Smith, he came in and played pretty well. Oh man, speaking of people who didn't play well, man, it's about that time. It's about that time. I know JJ Barea just got injured, and that leaves more minutes for a guy Devin Harris. But it's about that time. He came in and he sucked again. It's about that time to get rid of these guys. You got to fill their slots and their shoes on the floor. Man, we got to make these trades. And it all starts with the Trash Brothers. And don't be confused, don't be fooled by that. They actually scored a few more buckets than they normally do. It's like, oh man, they actually, I think Harrison Barnes had like 20, and man, what was it? DeAndre Jordan had like 15, and Wesley Matthews had like 17. You was like, oh, okay, that's good. Listen. The only reason that they got those buckets is because Luka Doncic got put out the game. They're not able to produce while he's on the floor. That's the problem. We don't need people who can score when he's not playing. We need people to score when he's on the floor with them. As part of a team. That's the problem. Don't get in by those inflated numbers. That was just nonsense. And they were already got blowed out in the second quarter. So basically, they played them to a standstill to the third and fourth quarter. They were just holding them off, letting the time run out, and that was the problem. I mean, Derek Collison, he had like 16, 17 points. I mean, just an efficient, running the offense, doing his thing, picking his spots, when he wanted to score. And it was just Derek Collison. You're like, who is that? But he had like 16, 17. But then you think about Wesley Matthews, he had like 17 points, and he did like $18 million this year. That's the problem. I mean, man, was DeAndre Jordan another game with no blocks? I mean, he's just not a zero presence. He's like a ghost down there, down low. Anybody can just go in there and get buckets, just throw it down on folks. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Okay, Wesley Matthews, he shot like 50%. Then he had like 4 turnovers. He's a shooting guard. He actually shot well, but then he had 4 turnovers because he can't handle the ball, can't pass. It's a problem. He got like 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Harrison Barnes had like 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And you're like, oh, wow, that's better than 1 assist, or none, which is what he usually does. Oh, wait a minute. But then he shot like 38, 39% from the field. Good players shoot about 45%. Really above average players shoot 45 to 48%. First 48. They're trash. They're trash. I don't even know why I practice so much basketball trying to get better when there's so much money in being trash. There's so much money. It's amazing. I'm gonna leave it off on this because I don't see it getting any better for Luka Doncic, for the rest of the season. Now, I'm sure he's gonna have a bright spot. He's most likely gonna make it into the All-Star game. But other than that, man, it's a problem. We need to get the ear of somebody to make some trades happen. And I know he's super frustrated because Dennis Smith Jr., they didn't piss this guy off. They pissed this guy off. The problem was he got injured, hurt his back, went off, and then all the rumors got louder and louder and louder. They were trying to get rid of him. They're trying to move on from him. And he's like, no, I just came back. I thought we had worked it out. No, they didn't work it out. So when his agent and everything heard about that, they was like, oh, no, I'm done. I'm not trying to come back at 70%, 80%, 85%. I'm not coming back until I'm 100%, and hopefully y'all will have traded me by then. He actually went and told somebody, he's like, he hopes to be traded. When someone says that, they are done. They are done. And now they're talking about, oh, we're trying to mend the fences. Did you hear that interview from this guy, Rick Carlisle? They were asking him about him. He just went off on his own. He just went off on his own and started talking about Dennis Smith Jr. They weren't really prompting him. He was like, look, I just want to say that, this is what he was like, I'm paraphrasing here. I want to say that, the year and a half that Dennis Smith Jr. has been here, he started every game. And, from the first year to the second year, he's shown a tremendous amount of growth. And, I just feel like, he's a part of the team. And, whenever he's better, we'd love to have him back. What? What? That looks like somebody from upper management said, hey man, go on here and try to smooth this over so we can build his value back up so we can get rid of him. Now that everybody knows that we're trying to get rid of him, his value goes down because we have no leverage. And since we can't get him back on the floor because we done pissed him off, we need to mend fences so we're going to get rid of him, but we want to get as much as we can, back for him. So go out there and say that. You can tell he didn't want, Listen, that is much different. Listen. You talk about the game you had today. Look, I just want to tell y'all about Dennis Smith Jr. We need this guy back. We need Dennis Smith Jr. back. He is a huge, integral part of our team, and we are struggling without him. All the other guys are pulling extra heavy loads because we don't have him. He's sensational on the floor. He's only gotten better every day in practice and even in the weight room and in the training sessions and the film sessions. I love coaching this guy. It has been an absolute pleasure to have him as a member of this organization, and we desperately need him back. And when he does get back, we are going to be a much better team because of it. Get well soon. We'll try to hold down the fort until you get back. Next question. You see the difference there? He's been a part of the team and he started every game, like what does that mean? He should come back because we done let him start every game, even though I don't think he's that good. We've let him start every game, and under my tutelage he has gotten better. What? You see the difference? That's where the frustration comes. That's why they're frustrated. Okay, but I'm not frustrated with you guys, because all you guys have been subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell just so you'll learn it every time there's a brand new video. Some of you guys have been subscribing, well not subscribing, but follow me on Twitter, on both of the Twitter handles. I appreciate that. I'm Ironman from the music group theLottory, Showtime Records. Holla.